कानून पढ़ाओ ना।
With the kind permission of the Chair, I would like to formally commence the inaugural ceremony. Ma'am, may I? Thank you, ma'am. To invoke the divine blessings, I now request the dignitaries in the dais to kindly step forward for the land lighting ceremony and Dhanvantari Vandana by Dr. Ashley and Dr. Kirtana, PG Scholars, ITI Jamnagar. Thank you, respected dignitaries, for illuminating this function with our gracious presence. To formally welcome the gathering, I now invite Professor Dr. Hitesh Vyas, Dean Academic, ITI, to deliver the welcome address. Sir, please.
Respected Director Madam, President of the event, our Chief Guest, Dr. Shyama Ma'am, Dr. Geeta Krishna Ji, Shri Kirit Bhai, and the august audience. Before I start my welcome address, let me convey a message from our beloved Honorable Prime Minister Sir Narendra Modi Ji on the occasion of 10th Ayurveda Day. 10वें आयुर्वेद दिवस की देशवासियों को हार्दिक बधाई एवं इस अवसर पर आयुष मंत्रालय द्वारा आयोजित कार्यक्रमों के लिए मेरी शुभकामनाएं। आयुर्वेद भारत की प्राचीन धरोहर है जिसने हमें जीवन जीने की एक पूर्ण पद्धति दी है। आधुनिक चुनौतियों के समय में आयुर्वेद ने हमें न केवल रोग निरोधक उपाय एवं उपचार दिए हैं, बल्कि जीवन प्रणाली में संतुलन, प्रकृति के साथ सामंजस्य और दीर्घकालिक स्वास्थ्य का मार्ग भी दिखाया है। मानव कल्याण और पृथ्वी का संरक्षण एक दूसरे के पूरक है और आयुर्वेद दिवस हमें इसका स्मरण कराता है। जब हम संतुलित आहार, दिनचर्या और प्राकृतिक संसाधनों के सम्मान जैसे आयुर्वेदिक सिद्धांतों का पालन करते हैं, तब हम अपनी सेहत के साथ साथ धरती माँ के स्वास्थ्य की भी रक्षा करते हैं। सरकार आयुर्वेद को वैज्ञानिक मानकों से सुदृढ़ करने, अनुसंधान और नवाचार को प्रोत्साहन देने तथा आयुष उत्पादों और सेवाओं को विश्व स्तर पर सशक्त बनाने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध है। इस दिशा में आयुष मंत्रालय ने जन जागरूकता, गुणवत्ता सुधार और वैश्विक सहयोग को बढ़ावा दिया on a special occasion, that is 10th Ayurveda Day celebration. I, on behalf of the entire ITI family, firstly welcome our head of the family and president of this function, our director, our beloved director, Tanuja Nesi ma'am. Ma'am, welcome to this function. Today we have us with a very esteemed and very important guest, and that is Dr. Shyama Kuruvilla, AI Director, GTMC WHO. So let us welcome with a big thanks to Dr. Sharma. Welcome, ma'am, to this function. We have also Dr. Geeta Krishnan, the Technical Officer of GTMC, Shri Kirtibai Poparia, the Secretary of the Guladpura Ayurveda Society and our GB member. We have the special guest from the Kerala for tomorrow's function. So I, on behalf of the Institute, welcome all of you, sir. Today, some of the very eminent speakers will join us online or virtually. That is Dr. Ghali from the Delhi, Dr. Sakit Ramji from Hyderabad, Dr. Ram Manoharji from Bengaluru, Dr. Samir Pujari from Geneva, Dr. Rajeshwari ji also from WHO, and Mr. Naman Goyal from Ayush Ministry, Delhi. I welcome all of this, our speakers in this seminar. Also, I welcome our faculties, our PG and PG scholars who have gathered here to celebrate this 10th Ayurveda Day. Welcome, welcome all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to invite our Honorable Director, ma'am, Professor Dr. Tanuja Nesri, ma'am, to present the floral bouquet to our Honorable Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. Shyama Kurula, ma'am. Ma'am, please. Thank you so much, ma'am. I would now like to invite Professor Padiri sir to felicitate Dr. Geeta Krishnan, Technical Officer, GTMC Jamnagar. Sir, please. Thank you, sir. Sir, I would like to invite you again to present the felicitation to Mr. Kirtibai Poparia, GB member ITRA, Secretary to Responsibility towards the Promotion of Ayurveda. I invite our Honorable Director, ma'am, ITRA, Professor Dr. Tanuja Nesri, ma'am, to lead us all in taking the Ayurveda Divas pledge. Ma'am, please.
Honorable Chief Guest of today's function, Dr. Shyama Kurula, who is also Director of GTMC, representing the entire globe, we can say 173 countries, more than that. Dr. Geeta Krishnan, our esteemed guest from the animal, and Dr. Devan, Poparia ji, all the esteemed deans, ITRA family members, faculty, colleagues, students, staff, and everyone. On behalf of Ministry of Ayush, we are really honored to have been given this opportunity to have this one important seminar on the digital transformation tradition with technology. So this we are celebrating on the Ayurveda Day on behalf of Ministry, and one of 10 important events. This is being witnessed by each and everyone across the globe, because this is live on Facebook and the link is shared to each and every colleges, institutions. So I welcome each and everyone who have joined online as well. And the task which has been given, this celebration is very easy, but when we say that Ayurveda is not remain in the book, Ayurveda is not only the science, it is a knowledge system of health and happiness, but it is not only a knowledge system of health and happiness that is needs to be percolated and communicated from one to other, that is from teacher to student, but it is a way of living healthy and happy life. We have to inculcate healthy lifestyle. That's what our Honorable Prime Minister desires as the greatest ambassador of Ayurveda. And on behalf of Honorable Prime Minister, Ministry of Ayush, ITRA and everyone, I take this honor, and this is the responsibility. When we take a pledge, we have to follow it. शपथ लेना इसमें बहुत अर्थगर्भित है, तो मैं सबको रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी हाथ खड़ा करके, and along with me, because we become the role model for others to follow. Let us pledge it and follow it. So, on this 10th Ayurveda Day, I pledge to uphold the timeless wisdom of Ayurveda for health of myself, my community, and our planet. I shall live in harmony with nature, honoring and respecting all forms of life. Follow Ayurveda's principle of Dinacharya, Rutucharya, and Satvrutta to preserve health and prevent diseases. I shall choose food that is fresh, local, seasonal, and sustainable, while minimizing waste and protecting biodiversity. I shall embrace the holistic vision of Loka Purusha Samya, recognizing that individual health and planetary health are deeply interconnected. I shall commit to walk the Ayurvedic pathways towards a healthier, greener, and harmonious world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are now privileged to have with us our distinguished keynote speaker of the day, Dr. Shyama Kuruvilla, Senior Strategic Advisor at the World Health Organization and currently serving as the Director ad interim of the WHO Global Center for Traditional Medicine. She holds a PhD from the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine and has made significant contributions to global health policies, including the development of the Global Strategy for Women's, Children's and Adolescents' Health 2016 to 2030. Dr. Kuruvilla has over 65 publications in the field of health policy and public health and has been instrumental in advancing traditional, complementary and integrative medicine worldwide. I have the honor of inviting her to deliver the keynote address and enlighten us with her vision on the digital transformation of Ayurveda. Ma'am, please.
intro. It is such an honor for me to be here and celebrate Ayurveda Day, the 10th Ayurveda Day. And so when everybody was saying it is an honor, I was thinking, yes, it's a very big honor for me, not the other way around. And we are so happy to share the campus with you. And so, in fact, for the celebration, I already came in, and then Professor Tanuja and Professor Tej was like, no, you need to go out, and we formally welcome you back here. So I'm very happy to talk to you today. And it's a very interesting theme of digital transformation of Ayurveda. And while we get the, I had a few slides to share with you. I will share with you one encounter, which is a couple of months ago. We had in Geneva a global conference called AI for Good. That is how you use artificial intelligence for good. And we had a session on traditional medicine and on Ayurveda and AI. And somehow in the global media, it made lots of headlines. And people were saying, why did this become so popular? Because they're not immediately seeing the connection. But in a way, it was because you have the most ancient form of managing information for health in Ayurveda, the system of thinking and information. And then now you have the most modern information technology, and people were very fascinated by making that bridge across time. And it's not only what artificial intelligence can do with Ayurveda in terms of organizing knowledge or quicker searches, but I think it also has to be about what Ayurveda can do for AI in terms of a way of organizing knowledge, which there is 5,000-year history. And I think we've seen a lot of problems with how artificial intelligence, the algorithms that are used, what you find. And I think the thinking of Ayurveda, the approach of Ayurveda, in fact should be applied to AI so that you get, like in the pledge, a more holistic, personalized, evidence-based, experience-based approach. And so please don't only think about, how can AI benefit us, but think about how can you benefit AI for the good of the world. So we need to think about that a little bit more. I'm sorry, I'm not texting somebody. I have some of the slides over here because I think it didn't come through by, it doesn't matter. Let me try and talk. Yeah. I'll just try and talk to you about some of the main points. So when we were talking about why is traditional medicine important? So I'm going to say traditional medicine because, as Professor Tanuja Nesari said, at the WHO Global Center, we are looking at all forms of traditional knowledge, but recognizing that Ayurveda is the root, the first, systematized way of looking at this. And what we're realizing now is that billions of people around the world are using traditional medicine, not just in India, but in almost every country. And can you just show me your hands? How many of you know that WHO passed a new global strategy for traditional medicine this year? Or let me ask, how many of you have seen it or read it? No? Okay. So we need to share the link after this. So it's very important because all countries, all member states have adopted a global strategy for traditional medicine that will be in place for the next 10 years. And it has 4 areas of 4 strategic objectives. So one is on the evidence base, the research, the data and innovation. The second is about integration. How do you integrate I think across in your daily lives, but in systems, in national health systems. And it's very interesting to see in the primary healthcare centers, the co-location of the Ayush doctors and the biomedical doctors. But we were talking with a colleague from South Africa, and they were saying, why are you always talking about integration as Ayush into health system? They were saying, but Ayush and traditional medicine systems have been here for thousands of years. In fact, we should make a little space for the biomedical health system to welcome them. So again, we have to think a bit differently, because in fact, the world is moving beyond facility-based care to personalized, holistic approaches. And in fact, that's where Ayurveda offers that game-changing perspective. And instead of following the systems that are current, we can change or reshape the systems of the future. And but there are a lot of challenges to doing so, and especially as related to artificial intelligence. One of the biggest challenges in the world, and you will see this in news and social media, is misinformation. How do you know you're getting the right information from the right sources? And how do we bring this to bear in our day-to-day work, in how we interact with patients, how we interact with the public? How can everybody make informed health choices? And in this, then the role of regulation comes. So I'm just going through the strategic objectives of the strategy. The first was research and evidence and how we think about it. The second on integration. The third on regulation. Now this is very interesting. Somebody asked me a question. Biomedical pharmacology, biomedical research, maybe came about in the last 50, 100 years. But we say that traditional medicine has been for thousands of years. So somebody asked me the question, in the short time, how did biomedicine become global? In any part of the world, you have the biomedical research, RCTs, the standards. And they said that one of the barriers for traditional medicine, and one of the strengths at the same time, is that it's very local, it's cultural, it's based on the natural resources. But unless we start sharing global standards, you're not able to talk with other countries, you're not able to do collaborative research, you're not able to share different medical approaches or even products. And it becomes a challenge for regulation and so on. And I think unless we have that level of global collaboration, we're not going to have traditional medicine and Ayurveda at a scale that can truly benefit the whole world. And here, with ITRA, the collaboration on ICD, the International Classification of Diseases, that all countries will start using, or standard terminologies, but at the same time not losing the unique nature of each field. So that would be very important. At the WHO Global Center, and Geeta, I was going to say, I should say Dr. Geeta Krishna, is the unit head for traditional medicine research, data and innovation. And just over the past 2 years, he has led a process in every region of the world to identify the research priorities and have a global research roadmap. So this has been very interesting. And one of the main findings, people say, oh, it needs more evidence. Ayurveda needs more current evidence. But of the world's health research funding globally, give me a guess, how much percent of global health research funding goes to traditional medicine research? Any guesses? From that row. Any guess? Otherwise, I have to go and ask, let me ask Joban.
Maybe 0.5%?
Almost 1%. Can you imagine? Only 1% of health research funding is going to traditional medicine. And so there's a big need to show the need for investment, to mobilize resources. At the same time, how do we do the research? So it's very important to think about. I'll give you another statistic. In the herbal medicines, let's say, sector, it's something like $450 billion. About 45% of that market is China in the herbal medicines. Even with that, the major regulation comes from the European Union. Even though they're not producing the most, they are putting the regulations. So there are a lot of other people who are driving this agenda. Out of that 450 billion, India, 1 billion. Okay? And I think, like I said about systems integration and not sticking with the current systems, it's very important to think about how do we move forward. So, this wellness industry, again, it's a big trend. But people are asking for clear, natural, nature-based products, right? That's the demand. And you may have seen on like cosmetics and others, and the public demand. I'm saying about cosmetics, and so to show you the public demand, they want cruelty-free products. That is, no animal testing. And is it necessary to do animal testing now? We have biochips, we have in silico models, we have, and the demand from the public is for having nature-based, non-animal testing, cruelty-free. And I think Ayurveda, at the heart, that's what it embodies. And you can leapfrog all of these to say, in fact, we are cutting edge. In fact, we are at this, using the best science that doesn't need, some of the older models of research. And we talk about meditation or yoga and how difficult it is to do RCTs. But in fact, we have cutting edge technologies like functional magnetic field in trying to follow or go to past sections. So now coming to Ayurveda and AI, I must say there's now a global group, a global working group. And we're very honored that the co-chair of this AI and traditional medicine group is Professor Tanuja Nesari. And co-chairing with Dr. Go, who's from the Ministry of Health and Governance of AI, on courses, and this will be a real game changer, And in terms of collaborations with IFRA, the Honorable Prime Minister at the last WHO Global Traditional Medicine Summit, along with the presidents of South Africa and Brazil, had asked for a global traditional medicine library. All of you may be familiar with TKDL, the Traditional Knowledge Digital Library. So it's very important to document so that, especially now, there's this, I'm talking a little bit global here, but last year there was the World Intellectual Property Organization. They passed a treaty on every new patent has to show where, what is the source of the genetic material, and two, has it been used in traditional knowledge before? But unless you've documented it, you cannot show that. And so it's the role of TKDL, etc., is very important. So this global library, we first started with the traditional, with the scientific peer-reviewed literature from all over the world. And people said, oh, it will be a very small number. Already we have over 2 million peer-reviewed scientific journal articles in the library. In addition, we are creating chapters for each country. And we're very, again, honored to say that ITRA will be the hub to develop this India chapter. So we are looking to you for your leadership in this area. We also are looking at ITRA again on the setting up the data and information systems. So, for example, there are 8 all over the world, and I'm sure in India too, but globally, 80% of traditional medicine is provided through the private sector. I'm not sure exactly the statistics in India. Are they similar? I'm not sure. Maybe. But how do we then find out what problems people came for? What interventions were given? What were the outcomes? And unless we're all connected with standard data so that you can look at the regulation, you can look at what the outcomes were, you don't have a way of improving or collaborating. And this is a big challenge that we'll be taking on and doing together with WHO. So you can see that on many of these areas, ITRA is at the forefront, and so we're going to rely on your leadership and collaboration in all these areas.
Finally,
digital
transformation.
Maybe we can share this after. Don't worry, I'm not going to go through my whole speech again with the pictures. But this is, I go, what is it called? Fast forward. This is the picture about, I said about why it's important. Okay, now I have to find out. Okay, this was about the different health risks in terms of technology being concentrated in a few places, the misinformation, cybersecurity breakdowns. Sometimes when I'm doing these things, I say, okay, we talk about AI, and then I have to figure out how to first use a mouse. And this is a little bit about the theory of change, where we have the remember I told you the 4 global strategy objectives, which are in the green circle, okay? Strengthen evidence, support regulation, integrate in systems, and then this broad cross-sectoral perspective. And then what the GTMC does, and also what we can achieve in terms of health and well-being for people and planet, like in the pledge that we just took. And how do we do that? And safe, effective, people-centered traditional medicine. These are some of the accelerator products that we're doing. I talked to you about the library, can you see? The investment case, the research roadmap. So these are all the things that I briefly mentioned. And then you can see in the lower right, the AI and TM technical brief that got lots of publicity in the media, and the ethics and governance course that's led by Honorable Professor Nesari. And so, so this is a little bit what I mentioned in terms of you have Ayurveda, which is one of the world's oldest health information systems and health systems, artificial intelligence, and how the convergence can be game-changing, including the way of thinking, or the systems of Ayurveda. And this was a very interesting, I don't know how many of you have seen this, called Systems Ayurveda. Yes, and the conceptual foundation, the logic, and we'll share this with you afterwards, but you can see it already looks like an information system, isn't it? And this is what I was saying, the thinking can be applied to AI, because it makes you think about health very differently. And these are some of the work that's being led in terms of what's the scope of AI in Ayurveda, the global consultations, the ethics and governance course, and use cases. And you'll hear more about these in the following sessions with Samir and Rajeshwari and others. I talked to you about the collaborations that we're looking to ITRA to lead. And this is the brief, and it's available online, okay, mapping the application of AI. And this was the summit that we had for the AI for Good. And this is an example of some of the global media coverage and the interest in this area. Okay, now looking forward. In December, we have the second WHO Global Traditional Medicine Summit. And it's 17 to 19 December in Delhi
at the Bharat Mandapam. And the theme is restoring balance, the science and practice of health and well-being. Yes? And so we hope to see many of you there and some of your work. I saw the wonderful poster competition and the the interactive displays, so thank you very much for that. Those were all very inspiring. So there'll be an interactive agenda, and there will be Innovation Expo as well. And I think I will stop there by giving you a trailer of the summit. And I hope this can play. I'll just... okay. So I'll say thank you now, and I'll go and sit and watch the film with you. It's just 2 minutes, and just in case it doesn't work, we'll share the link.
Putting together centuries-old wisdom and cutting-edge science.
I think it's important that we realise that conventional and traditional medicine can go hand in hand.
How do we find balance? How do we find balance? We find it in tradition. We find it in tradition. On an indigenous knowledge, on an indigenous knowledge, often male and well-being. On health by bringing together centuries-old wisdom, cutting-edge wisdom and cutting-edge
It's important that we realise that conventional and traditional medicine.
Traditional medicine is noble advance. There is a growing demand, there is a growing medicine across countries, and cultures.
What we do need is to have really strong, progressive looking with the way of the medicines of millennium, medicines of millennium.
So we can share the link on the...
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your insightful address, and we are really sorry for the technical glitch that happened here now. As a token of our gratitude, I now request our Honorable Director, ma'am, Professor Dr. Tanuja Nesri, ma'am, to present a memento and certificate to our Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. Shyama Kurugla. Ma'am, please. Thank you so much, ma'am. We shall now proceed with the certificate distribution of the poster presentation competition, acknowledging the creative and academic excellence of our students. The winners will also receive a cash prize, which will be credited to their accounts digitally. I invite our honorable guest, present in the dais, to present the certificate to Dr. Disha Chadbar, first-year PhD scholar, Department of Agartanta, ITI, who bagged the first prize in poster presentation competition, PG/PhD category. Thank you, ma'am. I would also like to invite Mr. Anmol, second year BMS scholar, who was the only participant from the UG category, to present, to receive the certificate of appreciation. Congratulations to the winners. Thank you so much, ma'am. We are indeed honored to have amidst us our Honorable Director, Professor Dr. Tanuja Nesri, ma'am, whose leadership and guidance continues to strengthen this institute's academic and research pursuits. I humbly invite ma'am to deliver the presidential address. Ma'am, please.
Namaste. Honorable Madam Shama Kuruvilaji, as you have given us not only informative and very inspiring motivational speech on what is happening across the globe and what is the SWOT analysis of what is the opportunity, what is the potential, but what are the gaps we can definitely, there is a lot of scope to do. But Madam Shama Kuruvilaji, you are director and representing GTMC WHO, so it's a roadmap, the global map and the future of Ayurveda, how it should be, and it is really an eye-opening for us because as you mentioned that India being the largest 2 mega biodiversity hotspot across the globe, we have Northeast and Western Ghat and more than 8,700 medicinal plants growing in India. We have 700,000 doctors, we have more than 8,000 manufacturing units, many research councils, we have huge opportunity, and at the same time our share is only 1% and it's a 0.5% of the traditional medicine. So it's a lot of opportunity. It's the most, as our Honorable Prime Minister mentioned, it is a greatest gift to the humanity for the maintenance of the health and well-being of not only the people and the planet, but coming to the economic and boosting the economy. So finding out the gap and understanding the scope, how we take it forward, and the solution is only digital transformation. As you mentioned about the AI, and if we really have to mention the classical Ayurveda, if we really want to make it contemporary and most relevant to today's science, to all our Gen Zs and the millennials, and what we can say, the alpha and the beta population, all generations, so for all generations, if we really want to present Ayurveda and to each and everyone, primary health care, as it's a WHO's and our mandate to reach to each and everyone, Har Din Har Ghar Ayurveda, to every miles corner of the, and where no one goes but the Ayurveda can really help in healing the humanity. So with this we really have to have, for the new generations, we really have to integrate with the new generations of the AI, I think. So this is the message we received from your presentation. So it is a classical yet contemporary for C to C. We have to make this T to T. Tradition should be integrated with the technology, and this technology is all about not only digital but the AI and all latest innovations which are coming out. And if we integrate with all youngsters sitting in this August auditorium and across the globe, because this we are just witnessing that this presentation of yours is live on YouTube and everyone is witnessing and getting inspired. And that's why this the mandate was given to Ministry of Ayush to us as a digital transformation of Ayurveda, bridging tradition to technology. So in this bridge, we have all esteemed guests who have joined, and we really want to do the justice because I know that Samir Pujari, who has joined, he's joined online, and we'll be witnessing because he is heading the the Department of Digital Health Initiatives at WHO, and we are really blessed and honored to have you and along with yourself, GTMC, because when tradition needs to be integrated with technology, then we have the technology head, the digital health head, Samir Pujari ji, who is online, along with Rajeshwari, who will assist him to communicate what are the digital health initiatives to transform this tradition into technology. And as you mentioned, Shamaji, that this GTMC and digital health, along with just brought this technical guide on AI in traditional medicine. And based on this technical guide, this topic group has been formulated, and we feel honored, I feel honored and blessed, and this is the Ministry of Ayush and ITRA's. But we feel proud that ITRA has given this opportunity and to have this co-chair as an AI, and we are trying to leverage how this AI can be integrated for with traditional medicine to harness its potential to deliver this all healthcare goal as universal healthcare, that is SDG 2, 3 and everyone. If we really have integrated with digital platform and AI, maybe we take it scale up its potential and to reach to everyone. And that's what, as you mentioned, that global library, that is with NLP, with LLM, and with all ML and many deep learning techniques. We have also many use cases, trying to collect and collate all use cases and motivate the youngsters, startups, innovators, with integrating with the IITs, collaborating with the IITs and the technologies to develop this AI chatbot. Ministry of Ayush also has a Ayush grid and trying to develop this, communicating this through this all AI and digital media. What are the innovations and what are the achievements of Ayurveda to everyone? And for that, Samir Pujari ji and Rajeshwari will be giving us the presentation about the WHO's initiative. At the same time, what Ministry of Ayush is doing as a Ayush grid, Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, Homeopathy, and what are the latest initiative in developing chatbot like ChatGPT, like for Ayurveda, and many other initiatives. Ministry of Ayush also has. For that, we have Dr. Naman Goel, who is the OSD for Ayush Grid. He also will be giving us. We have CCRS also is doing many initiatives, and Saket Ram, who has already developed, he was also involved in developing this ICD-11. So he is also with us. And Dr. Ram Manohar, representing Amruta, but he is also, since many 2 decades, he is also involved in developing digital platforms for the Ayurveda Dhara, and with the integration with the Mighty, he is also, and we are with Dr. Manjeet Goyal, and we also have that Ayursim project with Mighty, and Dr. Ram Manohar. We are also doing various projects together. So we are waiting and we want to listen to them, and our own faculty who is bridging between it, when we say that Ayya to Itra and Itra to Ayya. So we all together are representing one family under Ministry of Ayush, developing research, innovation, patient care, and next the quality of the patient care and learning module. So Dr. Galib, who is also executive editor for the from All India Institute of Ayurveda, who is also product of ICRA. So he will be giving us, there will be a special issue of International Journal of Ayurveda Research on digital transformation. So what are the various opportunities, and what it is a like call for the papers. So Dr. Galib also will be there to represent and inform about various initiatives of Ayya and about the journal. So I welcome all the esteemed speakers who will be delivering in the next session, and at the same time I thank Ministry of Ayush for giving us this opportunity, Honorable Minister Sri Pratap Rao Jadhav ji, because this year's it is the 23rd September. This is even though it is the 10th Ayurveda day, it is the first Ayurveda day which the 23rd September will be remembered across the globe and recognized in a global calendar. It will be celebrated. Today it is being celebrated in 150 countries. As 23rd September will be remembered, and as you mentioned that we have the second summit which is also bringing the balance between the health and well-being, and between the balance between the tradition, science and the technology and everything. So I think today is the representing the day which is a balance equinox between the day and the night, the balance between the self and the universe, balance within ourselves and the balance the outside. So I think this the meaningful chosen very meaningfully that the 23rd day is a day of a balance. So that's how we remember, and I wish everyone a very happy Ayurveda day from Mitra family. And we are really thankful to Honorable Prime Minister and Ministry for gifting us ITRA as one of the INI, Institute of National Importance. And our students are really blessed, because when we say that born with silver spoon, it is mentioned. So it is not INI, Institute of National Importance, but it is that when we say that the ITRA family, so our ITRA family is not only the small, it is a global family, because we have the opportunity to host, to have GTMC along with ITRA. So it is all our students, whatever is the latest development, latest technology, innovation, research, what are the trends? If we really want to go global, we have to act local. But what that act should be, so there are first-hand advisors, informators and educators in the form of Global Traditional Medicine Center. So we say that we don't say two sides of a single coin, but we are the part of this extended family, we can say. And we are there as a ITRA family, all our deans, including Hitesh Vyas, and all sitting on the front row, Dr. Patgiri, Dr. Varsha, and everyone, all the professors and head. We assure you, and Dr. Joban, Dr. Arpan, and everyone, that we assure that we are there for all those four pillars, what you mentioned, the innovation, the library, data center. So you can consider ITRA as to create the use case, we are there. And that's why meaningfully Ministry has chosen ITRA to have this digital transformation. And we have our friends also sitting. Daily basis we have the opportunity to have Geeta Krishnan, to have, when he said, when we meet, he always says that like we have that vision, how do we contribute and how we collaborate with GTMC initiative, how we can be the part of GTMC's initiative. Dr. Geeta Krishnan also tells us that we also have many discussions that how this campus will look beautiful, how we can upgrade this campus, and how we upgrade this HMIS, how can be a digital transformation can definitely upgrade the quality research. So we are thankful, and we are also thankful to Popariya ji, because it is a Gulab Mata, Gulab Kuvarba, Rajmata. It is the greatest gift, because आयुर्वेद को राजाश्रय मिलना चाहिए, और 70 years पहले यहाँ राजाश्रय गुलाब कुंवरबा माता इनके कारण हमें राजमाता के कारण मिला, जिनके कारण ये कैंपस हमें मिला. This is the gift, and you are also supporting us as a गुलाब कुंवरबा society representing. So we are really thankful to you. और हम आगे मिल के ही सोसाइटी के थ्रू और इकरा मिनिस्ट्री के आयुष के अंदर हम आगे, ये तो बिगिनिंग है, आगे और भी बहुत कुछ करेंगे. ये आशा के साथ आपको भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करती हूँ. Few months back, when Honorable Minister also visited to this institution, we had signed MOU with One Tara. That is the animal welfare, I think world's largest animal rescue center, where 1.5 million, like this 1,500,000 animals of 2200 types of animals are being rescued. तो ये मृग आयुर्वेद, हमें खाली पशु आयुर्वेद में हस्त आयुर्वेद, अश्व आयुर्वेद ऐसा ही पता था. But we really did not have any know-how. But there are 250 veterinary doctors from all across the globe, and they extended their collaboration, and ITRA also extended their collaboration. So tomorrow we have the first of its kind one-day workshop symposium on veterinary Ayurveda, and for that we have from Kerala, we have the experts who are there, Nambudari, Devanna, and many others will be joining, and from Bantara also they will be joining. And this would be the guideline for the veterinary health. That also will be developing, and that's the new initiative. When we say that the Ayurveda is for people and planet, so for the plants, the NMPP is celebrating, organizing, but for animals, Ministry has given this opportunity to ITRA. So we are again thankful to Ministry of Ayush, and I would like to congratulate and appreciate the efforts of Shubhangi Deepak for organizing, and her entire team for organizing veterinary Ayurveda, and Dr. Hitesh Vyas, Dr. Kalpesh, Dr. Sagar Binde, and entire team for organizing today's symposium. I wish all the success, and I congratulate Dr. Varsha also for organizing 600 students Navratri and many initiatives, and all the deans and all the heads, that various initiatives you have undertaken for celebrating Ayurveda Day, and it was the countdown for 15 days, for last 15 days, and we have taken participation and each and every call of the ministry. So I congratulate each and everyone for making this Ayurveda Day special, and I would, last but not least, our media team is the one who will take this further to communicate all activities to everyone. So I congratulate media team and our secretarial and administrative support staff, without whom we cannot do anything. So congratulations, and appreciate everyone's effort. And as we have taken the oath that we will lead Ayurveda, and Ayurveda will become the part of our life. So I think let us live to what we have said. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your motivational words. We shall now move forward to the most awaited technical sessions on digital transformation of Ayurveda, bridging tradition and technology. I humbly request our honorable guests on the dais to be kindly seated among the audience. Ma'am, please. Sir, please.
We find balance. We find it in tradition, in practices that honor indigenous knowledge systems, offering unique perspectives on health and well-being, by bringing together centuries-old wisdom and cutting-edge science.
I think it's important that we realise that conventional and traditional medicine can go hand in hand.
Traditional medicine is not a thing of the past. There is a growing demand for traditional medicine across countries, communities, and cultures.
What we do need is to have a really strong, forward-looking, progressive way of being able to recognise the medicines of millennia.
The holding of WHO Global Summit on Traditional Medicine will intensify efforts to harness its potential.
The first WHO Traditional Medicine Global Summit set a baseline for action, a foundation of progress, data, and new technologies to unlock the full potential of traditional medicine. The 2025 Global Summit presents a pivotal moment to take this even further, expanding the evidence base for scientific innovations in traditional medicine. Recognizing the unrelenting instability in the world today, The summit will center around restoring balance, accelerating conversation and collaboration on topics like biodiversity protection, intellectual property rights, and the potential of AI, including the launch of the WHO Traditional Medicine Global Library. Join us as we explore how the nexus of traditional medicine and modern science can restore balance and well-being for people and our planet.
Moving on to the technical sessions. Our first session is by Dr. Galib, who is presently serving as the additional professor in the Department of Rashashastra and Kalpana at the All India Institute of Ayurveda, New Delhi. He also holds the position of Principal cum Medical Superintendent at the Northeastern Institute of Ayurveda and Folk Research Medicine, Arunachal Pradesh and Associate Dean of Postgraduate Studies at All India Institute of Ayurveda, New Delhi. Dr. Galib is also serving as the Associate Editor of International Journal of Ayurveda Research, IJAR, and the Journal of Ayurveda Case Reports. His excellence has been recognized with several national and international awards, including the Young Scientist Award from CCRAS and prestigious Sheikh Zayed International Award for contributions to Ayurveda academics. We are privileged to have him with us today, and I warmly invite Dr. Galib to share his valuable insights with a brief talk on the special issue of IJAR on digital health in Ayurveda, integrating tradition with technology. Thank you.
I'm audible.
So you're audible, sir.
I hope I'm alright. Thank you so much, Professor Tantariji, Mr. ITR, Shama Kurundaji, Director of WHO team, Professor Deshwas, leading academic Davishnanji, topics, PhD, and Dr. PG, Dr. Ramji, Saket, and Dr. Naman, senior faculty members of ERA, please, PhD scholar, other online participants, professional friends. Thank you so much for considering this opportunity. I'm honored with this invitation at the Ayurveda. So, congratulating all the parts on the occasion that is celebrated today across the country. It seems immediately. Okay. So, it's been this accessibility has been given to me, sorry, to speak a couple of minutes. This specific issue, this digital health in India, has increasingly observed yeah. So my very low definition one, so that's the reason why I'm putting off the video. So I'm not sure about. But what I was mentioning is, in the recent past, in the past couple of decades, a growing number of people so are taking more towards the natural, otherwise personalized approaches towards the healthcare, and in managing well-being also they are coming towards the resources. And Shamali, her opening remarks, she has report this specific demand. And many of the WHO documents, they have recorded this demand and the growing popularity. Am I audible? I'm so sorry for that inconvenience. So I'm getting locked out. Hello.
Yes, sir. You are audible. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So I was mentioning that yes, Shamaji referred about this. I couldn't stop on that specific point. But of late, the incorporation of digital technology and it has been recognized as one of the inevitable factors to achieve better care services. And I too that today the President Mas, Sri Pushpati Gajapati Raju, Honorable Governor of Goa, he also referred about the importance of using digital technology in health systems. So Shama says he mentioned about digital corruption and using artificial intelligence and certain algorithms. So she has referred about and she has welcomed towards using technology in the upliftment of traditional. So it has he understood this domain, but it's extensively for development and extensive education. So into this, the development Ayush for Ayush sector is an that is what the Honorable Director in Mass. So this is the initiative, and during done.
there's some network issue from Dr. Ghalib's side. So we're moving on to the next presentation. Moving on to the next session by Dr. Saket Tribula. Sir is currently serving as a research officer Ayurveda at the CCIS, National Institute of Indian Medical Heritage, Hyderabad, under the Ministry of Ayush. He holds postgraduate and doctoral degrees in Dravya Guna and was honored with the CCIS Young Scientist Award in 2018. Since 2006, he has pioneered the integration of ICT in Ayurveda, contributing to major initiatives such as the Ayurveda Encyclopedia, e-Samhitas, National Ayurveda Morbidity Codes, the Ayush Research Portal, and the Namaste Portal. He has also played a vital role in the Ayush Grid Initiative and contributed to the WHO International Terminologies of Ayurveda and the ICD-11 Traditional Medicine Chapter. With over 65 publications and 7 books, Dr. Saket Ram is a visionary bridging Ayurveda, digital innovation, and global health platforms. We are honored to have him with us today, and I warmly invite Dr. Saket Tribula to deliver his lecture and share his insights on the topic, Technological Innovations in Ayurveda. Sir, we welcome you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Am I audible? Can somebody confirm?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Thank you so much. Respected Anuja Nasti Madam, Director Shah, and Shama Madam, and all my dear colleagues. It's a great privilege to share the kind of work we have attempted so far, and also dwell upon how best we can harness the benefits of this digital transformation to the advantage of the system and also for the good of the people. So please permit me to share the slides. Are the shares here? Can you all see the slides?
Yes, sir, we can see them.
Thank you, sir. Let me quickly browse through the slides first, then I think we'll be able to have a little time to ponder upon the contents. So I'll have a very quick browsing of the slides to begin with. So this slide is apparently talks about technology's evolution, especially with respect to medicine. And you all are aware that from ancient times, human beings are very inquisitive people. So the moment we stood up on our two legs, I think that wonderful transformation has happened. So humans started to use different tools and also make tools for enhancing or augmenting the capabilities, inherent capabilities. So we have seen many sort of transformations, ancient times, industrial area, now we are in the digital era, and the future is of the intelligent ecosystems. So in elemental tools, we all know Ayurveda has very vividly documented, and as in some other traditional medical heritages also it's well documented. You all know that in institutional there is a long list of surgical instruments, very nicely described. So usage of technology is not a new phenomena in traditional medicine per se. So that's a point I want to make. So these are all the examples of how we have used technology to enhance our sensory capabilities, so that we can see beyond our visual range. For example, we can see inside the body using X-rays, etc., etc. So now we'll a little bit about digital revolution. So data and diagnostic revolution, a lot of things are happening now, especially in the medical health, through electronic health records, AI-powered analysis, and other related aspects. And of course, in treatment, we have realized how to use the robotics for the advantage of getting the best treatments and all. And of course, now the geographical barriers are also transcended. Now we have telemedicine platforms, wearable diseases to exchange information and also provide healthcare at the point of care, wherever the necessity is there.
So this is the futuristic idea, that is the intelligent future, that is personalized medicine, biointegrated devices and predictive health. But it's a sort of palindrome. When we say personal medicine, most of the Ayurveda domain, all of my colleagues are aware of what we do in and out. I'm also an Ayurveda physician, so the very core of Ayurveda practice is personalized. So in a way, so the opportunity for like sort of showcasing our strength is now, because now the whole world almost sort of inching towards accepting the importance of considering individual priorities over a sort of cohort in taking treatment decisions. And I think now it is time for us to actually lead this momentum and set an example of the sort of integrated and also demonstrated through science. This is embedded partnership, of course. This slide itself is vivid enough to hint at various possibilities of integration through this current digital highway. So what I learned, I think in 2004 onwards by working with engineers is that this information technology, for that matter, any technology is medical system agnostic. In fact, that's one major lesson which helped me to travel this lane and also get best benefits for the traditional medical systems, because this is a system agnostic thing, and it looks at data and also information in a very structured manner. Shama madam was talking about the systems approach of Ayurveda in a nice diagram. So that exemplifies that any knowledge system or any ontology can be put onto the information system and can be visualized to see beyond what apparently we understand in a very traditional manner. So those possibilities are now. So a little bit about internet. We all know it is ubiquitous in the lives. I think 30, 40 years back it was a great tool to connect people and also transcend geographical barriers. So that Internet 0.1, now Web 2.0, now we are in the AI age. So this slide is self-explanatory. Now we have entered into this so-called LLMs, large language models, and great harnessing from the natural language processing. So the applications are innumerable. I'm not reading these slides. I will share this PDF anyway after this presentation, so the users can go through them in the future. I want to just make a point here that AI has actually remarked the world because it has come with such a force that we already started feeling that impact. In fact, 2024 Nobel Prize speaks a lot about it. So, for example, in physics, John Hopkins of the Intel, and in chemistry, Dennis Avashis and John M. Jumba, David Becker, all of them, I mean, these are two different subjects, but the crux of both of these awards in physics and chemistry is the usage of AI. Somebody who has sort of contributed towards the AI, and somebody who has used AI to use some of the best biological models, for example, protein coding and things like that, through Google DeepMind and other great innovations. And I think in the history of Nobel, this is remarkable. Within such a short time, our technology got recognized, and the people who worked on the technology got awarded. That itself shows great promise. So these slides are a continuation of them. Let me just skip through them. Let me come back to Ayurveda, predominantly because I suppose many audience there are from Ayurveda background. Of course, when I talk about Ayurveda, we are also talking about other traditional medicines. So this is an example. So it is our sort of responsibility whenever we look at the framework of any traditional medicine to consider the epistemology. That's the starting point. So it starts with the conceptual study, then standardization, then experimental studies, clinical studies, and utilization, and back and forth. So utilization to the epistemology is kind of a cycle. So when we have tried, especially in India, within the ministry and through our organizations, so we are strictly following this. For example, if you see the objectives of the Ayurveda Research Council, and for example, the objectives of ITRA, for example, so we have all these departments. We have the basic and fundamental departments in terms of Kriya, Samhita, and other things, and we have semi-clinical departments. We have the subjects and Robudan and other eligible subjects, and we have the complete clinical subject. It's a mix of all of them, and all of them put together. So we try to sort of give it a complete picture. So nothing is left out when we try to sort of complement science with the tradition. And these are very crucial steps, and this modeling is very crucial when we harness the digital technology. And this is another matrix which very explicitly says how traditional medicine can be fit into so-called integrative medicine. Of course, this is not very clear per se, but it covers as many areas as possible where traditional medicine can be relevant in today's paradigm. But with a pinch of salt, Kurila Madam has already mentioned about the user responsible and the evidence being documented recently by WHO. So I'll touch upon a bit of it because technology is ubiquitous, as I said, and whether we like it or not, we use. Now, I think nobody in the world who doesn't use a smartphone. I mean, it's as good as a powerful computer in the palm. So, but how to use it should be the point of like sort of our concern. And when it comes to very, very powerful technologies like artificial intelligence, where we have very big large language models which actually first they can create any kind of data or say synthetic data for that matter. So we should be very careful and let me just get back into the skin of it and just examine what kind of potential problems it may come with and how we can mitigate it. So the fundamental problem starts with the human bias. So as humans, we are susceptible for that. It's widely accepted. In fact, as clinicians, why compared to any other graduation, why a clinician's graduation time is so big? I mean, it's 4.5 plus another year of internship, and after that, if you want to do specialization, it's 3 years. Then those numbers are much bigger compared to conventional degrees. So the reason for that is to train a physician or a clinician to develop the resilience to counter the personal bias and get over it and take objective decisions. So that's an inherent part of a clinician's journey. And the same thing applies when you use the technology for clinical applications or say in aspects of medicine in general and in traditional aspects, in traditional medicine. But there are many biases. I'm not to read all these slides, as I said, I will share them. So we have many forms of bias, for example, confirmation bias, selection bias, automation bias. And you can see one mistake has a big cascade of like some biases beneath it. It's a sort of the bird underneath waiting to just sort of push a little bit of a tip on the water. So we should be mindful of it and the same thing applies artificial intelligence also. There are already established examples of how a bias, for example, the Asian bias can lead to improper medical sort of judgments. There are many studies on that. This is one of the examples. And how the bias creeps into this. You know, computer digital technology is completely based on the converted data from analog to digital form into zeros and ones, and it all is data driven. And once if the data is bad, the bias creeps in at the data level itself. The outcome also will reflect the same thing. So that's a primary concern. We should always be mindful of. So these are different levels of biases which can actually make wonderful like ideas into very dangerous ones. For example, racial biases, unrepresentative data, genetic biases, algorithmic bias, age bias, etc., etc. And Madam has already mentioned these things. By WHO is the new collaboration, now it's W525, and already we have this wonderful document mapping the applications of artificial medicine. We request all the audience to please go through this document. So I'll skip through this slide. There is a fantastic literature available with WHO, and also there is a great course by WHO. Please do join ethics. Ethics in the usage of AI. And now, as Madam has said, under the co-chairmanship of NSC Madam and Go, so we are working on a curriculum to create a specific course for ethics in ethics for traditional medicine, usage of AI for traditional medicine. So you could keep all these things as covered. Yes, this is the resource. So I'd like to request our organizers to please share this resource. And along the WHO, I was just trying to look at whether any the major companies, whether they are doing anything in this direction. For example, Google, we have Google Gemini, we have Copilot from Microsoft and ChatGPT, etc. So they are saying that they are having their internal policies and all, but we should be mindful of the limitations of them. And whenever we use any AI resource, we should always double check. Because the biggest problem with AI is the explainability and the kind of, we really don't know on which resources those models are trained. So that's the big concern. In India, we have National AI Mission, and the Niti Aayog and other agencies are coming up with documents to help us navigate through this maze. Yes. So how we can mitigate the bias? So there are very well understood methods to handle it. We have technical solutions, we have human-centered policy solutions. For example, under technical solutions, we have fairness-aware algorithms, data diversity initiatives, interpretability and explainability. Under human-centric policies, we have diverse development teams, regulatory oversight, clinician and patient education. So, I mean, the lesson is that we should keep the team as diverse as possible, and we should involve as many stakeholders as possible from the design stage itself. And then I think a lot of the solutions which we are going to create or use will be devoid of these inherent biases. And at an individual level also, every physician can practice these things as a practitioner as well as user of any major technology like AI or any other digital solution. First of all, we should practice metacognition. We should know what we are thinking, and with a little bit of practice, it is definitely possible. And we should have a diagnostic time out. We have to pause and really contemplate upon whether we are going in the right direction or not. Whenever we take any informed decision, we can use the AI tools, some of the tools which are already available, and we can reflect upon our biases. This is the most important thing, because most of my Ayurveda colleagues do know that we have something called Hitopadesha. In the first year itself, we are taught what is good and what is bad, and what are the limitations of our senses, and what is the difference, what is the scope of restriction pramana, anumana pramana, and etc. etc. So the whole idea is inbuilt into Ayurveda, and the similar thing applies here also. And so if we combine that traditional wisdom with the today's technology, so we will be giving the best examples of how best we can utilize this technology to our benefit. So there are a few slides I will just skip through very quickly. I tried some of the queries in different existing large language models. Few are responding very well, few are really giving bad answers. So simply possible LLMs behaving in different ways. So what I can say with this learning, you can see this slide is very interesting. So this is, I don't know the name of the company, it is explained on the slide itself. So I asked a question, it has created a nice visual, but with all gibberish, some text it has put. So this is a big pitfall with AI. It can generate wonderful things and confidently fake. So that's one big major issue we should always be aware of. And some of the solutions in the name of Ayurveda, it's hard to unfortunately not take names again for the propriety concerns. But this is the big problem. I asked the question, just names the Thanos of Stereotype has given some nonsense. So these are real potential problems. So let me skip all these slides. It will fake. That's a big concern. And you should be aware and you should be able to double check the responses, otherwise we'll end up learning a lot of nonsense. And there are some of the sources in the name of Ayurveda, they are trying their best to actually provide authentic content also. I mean, these are all efforts under development, but whatever the source, whichever the source from which these solutions, you should advocate and you should get it confirmed with the developers whether they have taken the sources authenticated, whether they have really discussed with the stakeholders or not. Otherwise, these efforts are going to be very futile. And let me come back for the real-time applications, and this is also again discussed in the opening remarks. The whole world is now moving towards citizen-centric approach, and digital technology is the enabler for all of that, and health is not left out in that particular thing. And traditional medicine also, we should be able to harness that benefit. The whole technology should be citizen-centric, so that, and the major application area for digital transformation, especially with respect to medicine and traditional medicine, is maintenance of proper patient medical records which can connect to different data points. That is the most important thing, and WHO is doing exemplary work in terms of guidance and also providing resources for traditional medicine. For example, the recent ICD-11 TM2 chapter is one example. So where we have the codes for some mobilities and patterns for Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani in the WHO ICD-11. That is so remarkable. So now we have the method for a double coding system where we can code our next product diagnosis visually in the modern medicine. So that's going to be the potential source of valid information, and where from all that is coming. Maybe we are going to do some procedures, and where we are going to get all that information from. So that is going to be from the patient records, and especially from the personal patient records, not just from the hospital records. And that's where we have to take advantage of the technology. And we have done in India, thanks to the visionary leadership at Secretary, Honorable Secretary Sir, the initiatives, Secretary Sir, and other leadership, Honorable Prime Minister and others. So we have this wonderful resource called Namaste Portal, and one portal we are able to really build and assist WHO and other organizations to come up with different information-based solutions. So let me skip through these slides. And for example, now we are also working with ISO through Bureau of Indian Standards to put in some of the information standards and also some product standards into the public domain, so that we are all understanding the same thing across the globe. And these are the wonderful examples. Sharma Madam has mentioned about them, the standard terminologies and many other wonderful resources generated by WHO. So this is about ICD-11. Just skip through these slides. It has 12 sections for mobility and 6 for patterns, and it serves for Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani. And this itself is an example of integration within the traditional medicine itself, and of course overall placement within a great major classification system, ICD-11. And these are all different value propositions. Let me quickly browse through them. And this is also mentioned by Dr. Galib sir. Ayurveda Ministry is really pushing the sort of like it is providing with all kinds of resources for us to realize this digital transformation in India. So let me just browse through all these things. And I'm happy to inform that this PNJ, one of the biggest public health insurance programs, now we are also trying to provide this coverage for traditional medicine. We are working with the Department of Health, DGHS, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. We have an Ayush vertical there. So we are trying to use the ICD-11 codes as especially TM2 codes and Western medicine codes as part of the reimbursement system. So we are working on those modalities now. So that's going to be harnessed through wonderful digital platforms. So these are some of the snapshots of that work. And we are using in CTRI, we are using Ayurveda mobility codes under CTRI. So these are different use cases for using digital technology in a very responsible way. It's not just using any random data, but in a structured manner. So we are also positioning this utilization of this technology at different strata of the healthcare system, the primary, secondary and tertiary, and through government initiatives as well as through nationalized mission and also through private organizations. And this is, I'm coming back to my own sort of point where I started. So as I said, for any traditional medicine system, so it is not just one solution. So we have to combine epistemology to the current ground behavior. We will be able to come up with viable solutions, and digital technology is a real help to realize this complex, solve this complex problem. So I'm coming back to Ayurveda, and Ayurveda, as I said, we learn how to practice responsibility. I was wondering when I was in graduation, every second lesson you will be nudged with some or other thing to how to become a responsible Vaidya. So now we are understanding. So the AI, Ayurveda is very powerful and it is misused, and if it's in the wrong hands, that can create a lot of problems. That's why that nudging was happening throughout. So is the case with any other usage of any digital technology. So it is like we have to be remembering, we should be able to understand, we should be able to apply, analyze and evaluate. And all these are in Ayurvedic learning in terms of Aptopadesha, Mana Pramana, Upamana Pramana, Yukti. So they are very, very homely concepts for any Ayurveda person to like sort of apply. AI. So we have to apply the same things on Ayurveda. Sorry, when you use technology like AI, then I think our problems will be mitigated. So AI cannot take us right, to put it very simply. And of course, we will be able to really contribute to the AI in a very responsible way. It's a two-way route, it's not one way. So I'm probably remembering MS Vadiyathan's vision in 2006 when we started the Ayurveda biology concept. So he said the future of Ayurveda is going to be the molecular biology, and of course the molecular biology itself is a product of great information evolution. When we understood how the information of APGC, the genes, can be arranged and sort of taken with the computation, then we got the human genome and the rest is history. Right? So that's a great confluence of the information technology and the biology. And now we are in a position to utilize that same benefit for Ayurveda in particular and traditional medicine in general. So finally, Ayurveda Shastra, in combination with all other multiple Indic knowledge systems and other traditional systems, and if we are devoid of bias, we will be closer to the Nivedasastama concept, that is the Apta. So we want the Apta level of digital knowledge and Apta level of AI, nothing less than that. And we all know this is possible to learn in a very nice manner. We have beautiful techniques in Ayurveda. So we have to read Samhita steadily, but with a definitive tone. We should have a mentor to understand all of this. So similar things we have to apply when we teach the AI also. So same thing applies there. And finally, we have started with the oral tradition, and you see that first they needed to go into the oral tradition. So now I think many people prefer audiobooks to reading a text. So that's a beautiful cyclical like thing, which is really bringing us that human element again into our learning method. And these are some of the sources we already have. So let me skip all these things. And finally, I would like to end my presentation by requesting all my young colleagues there, all the doctors and Vaidyas. So it is again, as I said, we have to listen properly, we have to say it, we have to study it, understand it, and finally write it. It's not the other way around. And of course, when we teach AI also, probably we have to keep all these things in mind so that it gives us its best strength back to us. So on that note, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this great opportunity, and this slide explains how we can actually be part of this transformation. We can act as catalyst if we use the information technology. Earlier, back in 2005 and 6, so it used to be a sleepy, print-based library kind of thing. In our institute, we have seen that now it is mostly digital, and we are able to converse to many people across the world very comfortably. So that's the kind of benefit the information or digital technology can bring in. So this is final takeaway for me, especially, and also to my colleagues there. Align with the needs of the current time and vision of the leadership, number one. Do your homework and demonstrate the idea with proof of concept. The empty talk doesn't serve. Keep the requirements realistic. Convince the leadership to develop a lean and collaborative team. Never do it alone. Build the team. As I said, it should be multi-stakeholder team so that the bias is mitigated. We have to build an infrastructure and support system to sustain the momentum. It should not be an open and check case. It should sustain for a very, very long time to make sense. And it should. And finally, on that note, I would like to request all of us, for that matter, let us use technology responsibly, and let us make the AI Vaidya-centric and vice versa. Thank you very much. Namaste. Sarve santu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable words. There's a slight change in the schedule. I would like to inform you that due to an emergency meeting scheduled at 5:30 p.m. for Dr. Sameer Pujari, we will be having Dr. Sameer sir's lecture first before Dr. Ram Manohar sir's lecture. Dr. Sameer Pujari, who is currently leading the digital health strategy and governance at the World Health Organization, and also serves as Vice Chair of the ITU WHO Focus Group on AI for Health. He is the co-creator of the flagship Be Healthy, Me Mobile initiative, which has scaled national digital health programs to millions of people across 10 countries. He holds an Earth Fellowship in Public Health Informatics from the CDC, graduate degree in Business Studies and Software Engineering, and an MBA with gold medal in Systems Management. With WHO since 2008, he has provided digital health and AI support in over 40 countries across the globe. Earlier in his career, he worked with the CDC Global Immunization Division and with the National Polio Surveillance Project in India, where he pioneered several information management systems for surveillance. We are indeed privileged to have with us a global leader in digital health and AI. On behalf of the organizing committee, I warmly invite Dr. Samir Pujari to kindly deliver his lecture and share his valuable insights on the topic Artificial Intelligence in Traditional Medicine. So please.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Can you hear me okay? Just if someone can show me a hand. Something saying good. Okay. And just a quick question, do you see my slides as well? Full screen more?
Not able to see your slides, sir.
Okay. I think, I need to be sharing. The second one is my machine. Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you so much. Thanks, Arvind. Good afternoon, colleagues. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to speak. Within my apologies, I do need to drop in about 12 minutes. Try to rush to my slides, but I have my more interpreting colleague, Dr. Singh, on the call as well. So if you have questions afterwards, you can address to her. So let me take a little bit different turn around to the slides here, the way it was presented. But I think why we're talking about AI today is very, very important to remember that it has changed the gamut of science in general. In medical sciences, but also in science in general. You've seen that the 2024 Nobel Prizes, both for physics and for chemistry, were given to people who have worked and delivered some amazing innovations on AI. And that changes the dynamics of how science is looking at AI going forward. I think that's what's very important as growing, as being the future generation of medicine, as being the future healthcare providers. I think you need to endorse and adapt to the AI world in an excellent manner. Now the question comes in, why is this happening? I mean, that's something that people always forget to understand. It's important to understand the basics of where it's coming from. So, you're all young in the generation, but about a decade ago, the computing capacity, and for some of the senior members in the audience, they would know, the computing capacity we used to see these floppy disks or the pen drives jumping from 64 MB to 128 MB over every year or 2 years period of time, which means the computing capacity was doubling at a very slow rate of a year or 2 years time. Today, that has changed drastically. That's why AI has come to the fore. Today, we see almost 10 to 12 times increase in computing capacity within a couple of years space, or a couple of months space, or year space. That has changed the dynamics of why AI has come to the fore, and this is only going to get more dynamic and much more real time. We can get much more computing power and capacity as we go forward. This is also evident from the science that is coming with. The research is growing in space. So as the technology and computing power is growing, the science is also building up around in the same space at the same rate. And obviously that ties into the industry as well. Now there are different areas of AI that are maturing. So we've heard of AI more recently from the ChatGPT versions. But AI has been there for some time, and there have been some really mature technologies that we're seeing already. One of them being vision. And vision is evident from the areas such as radiology, where you see a lot of progress being made. Scientifically validated progress is being made in the radiology spaces. We're seeing diabetic retinopathy, which also is another example of vision. We've seen pathology, which is another example where AI is being used to help manage the gap of pathologists and radiologists. All of this is through vision technologies. We also have predictive models and predictive modeling technologies. We have decision support tools, which are also helping address a lot of the pain points in the public health systems in general across the board. So there's a lot of opportunity. The question comes, how do you now address it and apply it to the areas of work that you're looking at? In competition with the industry, we're bringing in new sensors, new ambient living across the globe. So that's why I think the question sits here. Now there are two angles to looking at AI. One is when you're making a systemic change like this, at a global level, you need to have an institutional and political capacity. And that's why it's important as future leaders also to understand that you cannot just bring the technology and put it out there for usage. It comes with a whole package around governance, regulations, laws, ethics, evaluation protocols. And that's why I think there has to be a political angle and a governance angle to the whole piece, which is why WHO, through the Global Strategy Initiative, which all the member states, all the countries have endorsed, is focused on looking at this governance. And there is a lot of political discussions. India is at the helm of all these discussions extensively. We've had global discussions at the World Assembly and also in several forums. But WHO, just to give you a context of what WHO has been doing so far, where is AI in traditional medicine? We should be proud to mention that under the leadership of Minister Ayush Secretary and the leadership, AI in traditional medicine has become an integral part of the broader landscape of AI work being done. And this is evident from the 2022 meeting in Helsinki, where the first discussion topic was launched on AI in traditional medicine. And since then, it has only grown into multiple areas as part of something called the Global Initiative on AI for Health. Now, under the Global Initiative of AI for Health as WHO, we work with two other UN agencies. One is the International Telecommunications Union, which is the WHO, which is a UN sister agency on telecommunications. And the second agency is called the World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO, which deals some patents. And I think as growing out and becoming researchers and innovators, IT will become a big part of the discussion. As you see, what we do is we put out a lot of guidance and policies for governments to be able to institutionalize AI into the health systems. There is guidance on ethics, there is guidance on medical devices evaluations, there is guidance on generative models, there are language models as well. But then we also have regulations, evaluation products, and then specific topic areas. One of them in the leadership, which came on this whole discussion, is the mapping application of AI in traditional medicine and traditional and complementary medicine. This guidance has been released. It's a work plan. It's a policy brief, technical policy brief, which has been made available for countries applying and sharing this resource as it has a rich intensity to learn and educate from each other, and we learn from that. There are online courses as well which are available. So if you are interested and keen, these courses are available and the QR codes are out there on the screen, which you can pick up and be part of the learning process. What we're also doing is setting up expert groups across the board. And a lot of colleagues here, but otherwise also, are part of these expert groups. And I'm just giving this picture of why, how this all fits into a context. Because you can't do AI in a vacuum. Any new change, any new philosophical and technological change needs to be integrated into the health systems. And this is the approach of doing it. So once we have the knowledge, the guidance created, the next step is to bring these groups and expertise that keep on refining these guidance and provide support for implementation across the board. And the government is actually working with countries to implement the guidance at on the ground with different stakeholders, with different engagements as a holistic approach in this whole infrastructure model. I'll dig a little bit into the specifics of the very powerful guidance document that has been policy brief that was released, and that I think will set the foundation for a lot of the work that you are all doing and will continue to do in this space. Now, it's very important to bring all the collaboration in the different areas. Health is vertical in its nature, So how do you integrate these different technical areas into one specific area so that healthcare can be provided? That discussion has been discussed in this specific policy brief. And again, Tanuja, when she was at University of Ayurveda, we were able to convene the experts globally to bring the discussion to a table and lead to the creation of what we call the mapping application of AI in traditional medicine. I would urge that this is a strong read for all the for all the audience here as we go forward, and you can get this on the WHO website on AI in itself. It targets policymakers, governments, health systems, experts, and practitioners to see the different users of this specific guidance. It has various domains of interest, and each of the domains is targeted. This will continue to grow as a product as we are working on, but these set the stage for your research, for your evaluation, for your study patterns, and for implementation. Just to give you some examples of our domains and where we are looking at the potential and how AI's technological capabilities can be applied to the specific use cases. Whether it's in clinical practice, we have the model of biogenomics in India, which is quite popular and being used already. A lot of research being done here, something worth studying and exploring further in that area. Research-wise, again, going forward in health data development, which is another big area of work across the board. In AI and TCM, we're seeing the TCM Bank in China, the genomics program in South Africa, which is a great example. And these are discussed in this policy brief, so if you need more information, you can look at those. Also some more examples on the research side from Korea and Ghana. Similarly, for the knowledge sharing perspectives, we have the virtual library, as well as the traditional knowledge library, KDL, which many of you are aware of. So these are being discussed and how we are actually applying these, and these can be extended to a global protocol. Some of the models around across from the practice perspective to the policy making perspective has been discussed. So with that, as a quick summary, and apologies for rushing through, but I think there's a lot that can be done. So as students and leaders going forward, there are various areas that we can look at AI in. AI doesn't mean creating a new app. It means creating a new ecosystem that will help solve the pain points in the health system. And that's what we're trying to target here through the global support system as well. With that, I'll just stop and sort of hand it back to you guys. Apologies for rushing through. But what is very, very important is there is an opportunity of AI out there. And it's not happening today, tomorrow, just itself. It will continue to grow and evolve. We need to be agile, we need to be dynamic in adapting these and making the best use of these technologies, but making sure that it's equitable and ethical at the same time. So safe, trustworthy, equitable and ethical AI has to be of any work that we're doing as professionals. So with that, let me stop there and hand it back to you just in time for any immediate thoughts, but otherwise I will need to drop off, and apologies for that, and thanks again for giving me the opportunity to speak at a really auspicious day today, from Ma'am and Professor Vyas and colleagues. And thanks to Registry for helping us out with the work together as we've been doing together. So let me hand it back to the chair in the meantime. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful words. Moving on to the next session, Dr. P. Ram Manohar is presently serving as the Director of the Amrita Center for Advanced Research in Ayurveda at Amrita School of Ayurveda, Kerala, and is also a member of the National Commission for Indian System of Medicines, Government of India. He has over 3 decades of experience in Ayurvedic research and clinical trials, and has led landmark projects including NIH-funded Sorry for the interruption. I humbly request our Honorable Director, ma'am, to speak a few words.
For this summit, Pujari, we are really thankful for his quality time, sparing his valuable time, and sharing us how the AI is important for the digital health initiatives and its journey, how it is evolved, So thank you, Samirji and Rajeshwari, you are also there. And before that, Saket Ramji also mentioned all the importance and what are the nuances and what are the possible the threats also that he mentioned. So we are all really thankful to all our colleagues, and Dr. Gali also joined. So we are looking forward to Dr. Ram Manohar and the other colleagues also. But I request Samirji, if you are there, please stay with us so that these interactions will be more meaningful. If at all you can spare some time. And Rajeshwari, at least you will be there so that we will take the initiatives further. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We are moving on to the next session by Dr. P. Ram Manohar, sir. He has authored numerous high-impact publications and has been invited to lecture at leading global institutions such as Harvard Medical University, University College of London, and Sheriff Medical University, Germany. His contributions have been recognized with prestigious honors, including the Ayurveda Ratan Award, UK 2022, the Dharmantri Award, the Dr. Hedgewar Healing Honor 2021, and the Raghavan Tirumulpadu Puraskaram 2024, among many others. With a distinguished career bridging Ayurveda research and integrative medicine worldwide, we are truly privileged to have Dr. Ram Manohar sir with us today. On behalf of the organizing committee, I warmly invite him to deliver his lecture and share his valuable insights on the topic, Sim, a platform for virtual learning in Ayurveda. Sir, please.
Thank you so much. Om Dhanvantare Namaha. At the outset, I wish everybody the National Ayurveda Day, and I would like to start my presentation. I've been listening to a lot of discussion about AI and the broad, possibilities of applications of digital technology. I'd like to say at the outset that my presentation is focused on just one application, and yet I'd also like to add a few words about another tool that we developed here. So it's going to be very focused on a single application, and I'm not going to discuss about AI or other kind of possibilities. So I would also like to thank Tanuja Nesri Madam and all the people behind the initiation of this event and the opportunity to share my thoughts and experiences on this prestigious platform. So it has been a wonderful journey and experience collaborating with ITRA, and I'd like to say that this is a joint effort of Amrita Vishwavidyapitham and Institute for Training and Research in Ayurveda with funding from Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, where we developed this tool, the first version of this tool, which is called Sim, Ayurvedic Virtual Clinical Simulation Platform. To just give a background, we know the Sushruta's concept of Yogya Sutriyam, that before students actually work on real patients, it's just to the advantage of the patients to preventing harm and to make sure that they get uniform training and they learn all the essential skills. A structured training can be given in a simulation mode. So this is not a new idea. This is something which is described in Sushruta Samhita. And today, with the aid of technology, so I also listened to Shyama Madam, Saket, all who emphasized that it should be a Vaidya-centric application of AI, but here I'm talking about technology also, that we are drawing inspiration from thought process and frameworks in Ayurveda itself. So simulation platform is something which was already conceptually present in Ayurveda, and the idea was to integrate technology there. And at Amrita Vishwavidyapitham, we had already developed Amrita Create under the leadership of Dr. Prema Nedugadi. We had already developed a tool for modern medicine called MedSim, where modern medical students would first be exposed to simulated environments to learn clinical skills before they actually work on patients. And today we know that such virtual simulation labs are becoming mandatory in educational environments, and many of them are supported by other attachments like mannequins and various other equipments. And today we also have, apart from virtual reality, augmented reality, which enhances the learning experience. So the whole idea here was to bring this effort that was done in modern medical field into Ayurveda, but then bringing in the whole epistemological and the ontological framework of Ayurveda into the learning process, and that is because of this big difference. This has been called as Ayurveda. So as I was mentioning, this was funded by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology and also supported by the Ministry of Ayush, and this is a collaboration between ITRA and Amrita Vishwavidyapith. So to summarize, I know we have very little time and I'm afraid I won't be able to give a very elaborate description. I hope I'll be able to convey in this short time just a feel of what ISM is all about. And I would strongly encourage everybody interested to explore this. This is an open, tool. Anybody can access it. And I'll give those details at the end of the presentation. So what is IUSIM? IUSIM is a virtual patient case simulation platform where the student can interact with the virtual patient on a computer. So the aim of this tool is to help students develop clinical reasoning, clinical judgment, as well as communication skills with the patient, and also give a personalized learning. Because this is not possible. Most of the clinics where patients, where we have a high, load of patients, students may not get adequate time to interact with the patient, or learn from the teacher. And many things are learned in a hurry. The patient has to be, examined, and the whole consultation completed very quickly. And sometimes students don't see a patient throughout, the treatment continuum, so they may see only here and there. So two important things that this ISM virtual platform creates an opportunity for a student to interact in depth with a patient and also see the whole medical care continuum, right from the first visit to the point where the follow-ups are done and the patient recovers or is put on a stable state. This element is very important for learning because students, unless they know the long-term outcomes of treatments and how a patient progresses, and especially because Ayurveda clinics present with chronic diseases, in the short window of time that the students have, it may not be possible for them to learn everything. So this is a patient-centered approach to communication, examination, and care. And most importantly, because it equips the student with the thought process, with all the steps required in a thorough clinical investigation, and alerts them to where mistakes could be made. This ensures a safe healthcare management practice. It's very important for teaching hospitals where students have to work on patients even before they develop adequate medical skills, and there's always a risk for the patient. So this virtual simulation platform bridges that gap. Now coming specifically to ISM platform, we cover 9 major clinical specialties in Ayurveda, which are taught in Ayurvedic institutions, and we have 5 representative cases under each specialty, making it totally 54. And there are 6 modules across which the student will learn the whole process of clinical examination and treatment prescription. This is supported by more than 150 simulations, many of which are interactive. And now we have created a platform where more enhanced technologies can be added. We are also exploring the possibility of including AI, especially to learn, student trends of learning, identify weaknesses of specific students, and give feedback to the teacher on where the student needs to improve, and also the student himself or herself. And also create different, clinical scenarios, because there are limitations now. Here we have limited cases, but with advanced technologies and even AI, we can expand this and create a much more dynamic learning environment. That is in process. So this is what we have right now. So here, a virtual platform for evaluation of cases, it goes through logical steps. The first thing is assessing the patient. Second is disease assessment, assessing the disease. And on the basis of this assessment, which is done very thoroughly, the students are encouraged to come to a decision making where they first evaluate the possible interventions that can be given and then come to the Kriya Krama or the final prescriptive module. Now this is in alignment with national education policy, giving equal access to quality, practical and hands-on experiment-based learning experiences. Because being a virtual platform, this will be accessible across all Ayurveda colleges in the country, and every student will get the same quality of clinical training at least on this virtual platform. So it includes almost all the important clinical departments in the BAMS curriculum, and I want to highlight, I did mention that this pool is basically targeting undergraduate education. And they will all get exposed to the same virtual patient cases, and they prepare the students and faculty for, responding to real world clinical scenarios. And with learning analytics, we can create a very personalized learning experience. So, target BAMS students, responsive mobile-first design concepts, scalable vector graphics for UI, WebGL for 3D views, and I have contributed basically to the Ayurvedic aspect of this too. We have experts in technology who have developed this whole module. I mean, they are not present here today, so I will not be fully able to discuss about the architecture and its details, but here is a snapshot of what it is all about at this stage. So the specialities covered are Adada Tantra, Kaumara Bhritya, Kaya Chikitsa, Manasa Roga, Panchakarma, Prasuti Tantra and Stri Roga, Shalakya, Dental and ENT has been separated, and Shalakya for the eye, ophthalmology, and then Shalya Tantra. So we have 5 representative cases, and this is just the first version. We have created authoring tools, and we have now understood the nuances and the challenges involved. So in the next phase, we hope we can populate this with more and more cases, and then keep dynamically adding, so that eventually we have a whole data bank of typical representative virtual cases that will become a very rich and resourceful tool that can be used to enhance UG medical education in Ayurveda. So now in Ayurvedic, the Ayusim covers labs. We have a virtual platform supported by even virtual reality. So we created in this module as an experiment a VR-enabled, Panchakarma treatment experience where students can actually perform Nasya in a virtual environment. I mean, they'll be transposed to a virtual environment. Now with this VR, and we are thinking that finding that this is very successful and interesting, we're thinking of also augmented reality. So this will be 6 modules covering 54 cases with 1 VR and 9 departments. What we have been able to do in this first project is showcase this as a proof of concept that a virtual reality-based or augmented reality-based training simulation environment is very much feasible and possible in Ayurveda, and that we can refine it and use also advanced tools like AI to enhance the learning experience. So the modules are very logically organized. We start from Rogi Pariksha and then Roga Pariksha. It's all based on Ayurvedic logic, where Darshana Sparshana Prasnai Pariksheda Charoginam Rogam Nidana Praguruga Lakshanopashyapti. These are first the Rogi Pariksha, then the Roga Pariksha, and then Roga Madhav Pariksheda Tadanandana Maushadam. So that is why after Roga Pariksha, Aushadha Nirupana Karma. Tadakarma Mishak Paschat Jnanapurvam Samachari. So the Karma Samacharana is the Kriya Krama. And then it is mentioned in Ayurveda that we must do a vimarsha on the siddhi. Vina tarkena siddhi vidurcha siddhi. So when an outcome is generated, there is a vimarsha on that siddhi. That is, we check how did the result happen, what worked, what did not work, and then the anubandha, the follow-up, continuously doing this, in a repeated loop till the patient actually gets better. So this equips the student with a very clear conceptual framework, which is very rational, derived from the Ayurvedic classical concepts and texts, and can be easily integrated with clinical practice. So medical faculty, medical students are all being trained. We held many training programs. We continue to plan to do that. There can be online assessment and dashboard for learning analytics, so that they get real-time feedback. So already the interface gives feedback when you do an interaction with the virtual patient. If you make a mistake in a particular point, the system will give a feedback like traffic lights or alarm sound will come that you made a mistake. Student can go back again. And that's why I said this brings in a lot of safety for the patients, because all the basic errors that the student might commit would be identified by the time they complete training on this virtual platform. So the chance of repeating these mistakes on a live patient becomes greatly minimized. So there are many tools here. You can see that some are videos, some are animations, some are simulations, and then some are images, and most of this require that the student will interact. Some are, just learning. Student has to watch a video and then answer some questions. In some, the student has to interact with the simulation. Like for example, we have a module where virtually the student can measure the blood pressure. So it forces the student to do a checklist, make sure the patient is properly positioned, and if a mistake is made, an alert is given. So repeating this blood pressure measurement exercise a few times would make sure that the student will never make a mistake, get sensitized when measuring blood pressure. We know today that there are a lot of errors happening when blood pressure is measured because people don't follow the protocol. Now this is a modern aspect, so wherever modern clinical diagnosis and elements are needed, we have included that. We have also developed simulations for Ayurvedic assessment like Ashtasthana Pariksha. They are a little bit preliminary at this stage because, of course, it's a big challenge to develop all of them, but basic information, what we should look for when we do the Ashtasthana Pariksha, even Nadi Pariksha, at least a conceptual understanding of how to do that is provided. But with the disclaimer that Nadi Pariksha is a much more intense, method of learning for which we will have to go for personal training under a physician. So this is how the IUCIM module looks like on the screen when you open it. For the lack of time, I'm not able to actually do a demo, otherwise we could have done an interactive session. So you can see these are the tabs. You move first from Roga Pariksha, you have to do a patient encounter, and then you see on the left side various menus that you have to complete, and one after the other when you have collected all the data. So it's a thorough intake of clinical presentation of the patient, which includes both the subjective symptoms that the patient narrates. So the physician is prompted to listen to the patient thoroughly and then do the examination. And once all the data is collected, they go to the Roga Pariksha based on the inputs gained from. So this is like almost a data collection exercise, and it's almost also like a detective collecting all the necessary information or available information, and then reconstructing the crime scene, so to say. Here, disease is considered like a crime scene, a crime in progress. And then in Roga Pariksha, in the next module, they start putting these pieces together and guessing what could be the disease. And once they arrive at that, so the system also aids them and guides them and corrects them as they go through this process. And once they arrive at a diagnosis, the system will also give a feedback whether they arrived at a correct diagnosis. Then it is time for looking at medicine. So here they have to do a matching exercise, medicines and the Nidana, and once all the basic variables that we have to consider when deciding a treatment, the student will be asked to go through that, and then they can choose an appropriate medication. We understand that there are regional variations in Ayurvedic practice. The same medicine may not be used. This is a strength and also sometimes a challenge in Ayurveda in standardizing Ayurvedic treatment. This is because there are similar plans outside, there is local adaptation in Ayurveda, so we cannot say that we should have the same treatment everywhere. So that has also been taken into consideration, and this IUCIM will allow for some regional variations. Right now, it's just what is being done in Jamnagar and in Kerala with inputs from a few physicians outside, but eventually we can make this also more diverse and accommodative. And then the Kriya Krama, once the main medications and all are found, because Ayurvedic Kriya Krama is a combination of diet, lifestyle, counseling, treatments, external, internal. So we have a very nice multi-pronged or multi-faceted prescription form where the entire details of the treatments are given. And then when it comes to assessing the phala or the siddhi vimarsha, many checks are given in this module. First, to find out whether patients were compliant with the treatment. So one of the reasons why treatment may not work is because patient may not be doing it. So they are asked to check that and then assess whether improvement has happened, and then whether it was really due to the medicine, and then on that basis whether a modification of the prescription is required, in what areas did the patient improve, and that after that they go to Anubhav. And then the next visit, the whole process, repeats, and by many iterations like this, the treatment is completed and the patient gets better. So you can see Ojas Pariksha, Nadi Pariksha, Dashavita Pariksha, at least the basic concepts and, basic procedures that they have to go through have been included here. And I have to say that this is not a replacement for real clinical training, it's a preparation. So people, I mean, there's no point. Many people ask us the question, will students know about Ojas Pariksha here? Will they learn everything about Dashavita Pariksha and can they start working on real patients? No. This is not nobody can use Ayurveda and then start reading patients. That's why we are emphasizing that this is for UG students. Before they learn on real patients, they will get prepared. So that's the limitation. So you can see modern diagnostic methods are also included here. I'm not able to show all the simulations and interactive mode because this is a very brief presentation. This is the VR case, and now I hope you got a feel of what this platform is all about. So there is a platform demo, and here is the link. You can register and then start using this and also give us feedback. We are in the process of doing a nationwide training, reaching out to as many colleges, educational institutions as possible. This is in discussion with ITRA because our first phase of the project has been completed. So in the near future, we will do this training, and hopefully we will be able to take it to the next level, add more cases, bring in AI, AR, and all these additional technologies. So that's about Ayurveda. As my concluding remarks, I just wanted to say we also have another platform for Ayurveda. I think I have to stop now because we are running late. It's a clinical case repository, post-public where clinicians can deposit their clinical cases. And this is also an elaborate platform. Since we are talking about digital transformation, I thought I'll just mention about it. This is, I think, one of the first comprehensive initiatives, and I won't say it's the first initiative, where we successfully demonstrated that we can compile clinical cases from practitioners, put it systematically according to care guidelines, and also transform it into an educational experience. So I'll stop here. Ayurcell is also open to everyone, ayurcell.org. I would encourage that you can look into it and learn from it. So this is just a look and feel of how this platform appears. We also have a preprint server there where you can deposit your clinical cases. So I think with that we will conclude. Once again, I thank ITRA, Tanuja Madam, and everybody at Ayush for this opportunity. And on Ayurveda Day, I wish Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Thank you.
So, thank you very much, Dr. Ramana sir. We are very much pleased to see you once again with this IRC, and we are very much thankful for this beautiful and concise presentation of IRC. We'll meet you again in the physical form for our training for the IRC. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Khalid sir has connected with us again. I humbly request him for his lecture session. Sir. Can you hear us?
Yeah. Thank you so much, and my apologies for that inconvenience. So I hope I'm audible.
Yes, I'm
And
audible.
I also understood that, so we are already running late, and I will just speak for a few minutes. I won't take much time. It's a wonderful background which was set by Dr. Sakis and Samirji and Ramji towards the importance of digital technologies to achieve this better healthcare and its impact on the traditional systems. Shamaji precisely mentioned about digital transformation. This is I mentioned in my just earlier this one. And if I heard rightly, she said that if you want to change the systems of future, so you should use technology. This is what she mentioned. This is equally important. And in tune with this, the development of Ayush grid for the Ayush sector is an example, so that how the Ministry of Ayush is working. And possibly considering this, the Ministry of Ayush has identified this specific theme. So in addition to all those activities, 5 sub-themes under the main themes were identified, wherein the digital transformation of Ayurveda, it was one identified theme which was given to ITRA as a nodal center to coordinate these activities. So, releasing one special or dedicated issue is an activity under this sub-theme. IJR, which is a journal of Ministry of Ayush, it has been entrusted with this specific activity. And yes, the theme is advancing traditional medicine through innovation. So this is what the activity which we are planning now. This issue will be released by IJR, and this is the journal of journal initiated by the Ministry of Ayush in 2010, and it is currently being managed by us. And the scope, the topics, and areas of interest, they are manifold. And I'm not sharing all those details here. I will be sharing the flyer very soon with the authorities of the institute, and it will be floated on various digital media that I will do it at the earliest. And we are inviting the communications in various categories, let it be original or reviews or policy perspectives or whatever. So from all the stakeholders, and I will share the details, as I said, to the authorities. And so we request once again the communication from all the stakeholders, including Shamaji and her team. Samirji was there, and S. Rajeshwariji is already there. So in this platform, so I request the Rajeshwariji and the Samirji to contribute. I request everyone to contribute the communications, anticipating that these dedicated teams will enrich the volume. So thank you so much, and I will be sharing the details soon through WhatsApp to the authorities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Laliji. We remember you here, and thank you very much for, because due to some technical problems, you cannot complete your speech in the first session, but still, you awaited from the technical corrections, and you have completed your job. For that, we are very much pleased, and we are very, very thankful to you. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Moving on to our last but not the least session by Mr. Naman Goyal. Sir is presently serving as Officer on Special Duty, Ayush Grade at the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, an MTech graduate from IIT Delhi. He is an expert in artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, cybersecurity, and digital health systems. He is spearheading severe flagship projects under the Ayush Grid initiative, integrating advanced IT solutions into the traditional medicine sector. His academic contributions include research presented at international platforms such as ACM Mobisis 2016 Singapore and Elsevier Etica 2014 Bengaluru. As a leader in national committees on AI and digitization, he is playing a pivotal role in shaping the digital future of Ayush systems by bringing technology and tradition together for holistic healthcare. We are privileged to have him with us today. On behalf of the organizing committee, I warmly invite engineer Naman Goyal sir to deliver his lecture and share his insights on the topic Ayush Grid, an initiative for digital transformation of Ayurveda. Sir, please.
Thank you for the introduction. I would wish everyone a very happy Ayurveda day. I will start my description of the Ayush Grid with the digital transformation of Ayurveda, bridging tradition and technology. So what is Ayush Grid project? So in Ayush Grid, what we are doing is, we are not developing portals in silos, we are developing through API-enabled technology. So every portal in every domain can communicate. So we are developing portals in healthcare, research and development, Ayush, drug administration, global media outreach, education and awareness, medicinal plants and capacity building, and all have several portals and applications that are developed, and they can talk to each other whenever the need may be. So the master portal in this whole scenario is the Mayas. I show you just briefly due to the paucity of time. So this is Mayas. Is my screen visible? Yes, so this is Mayas in which we have a dashboard. In this dashboard, we have arranged all the portals that are developed by Ministry of Ayush in various domains like this. So you can browse any portal from here, and as Dr. Galib suggested, we are coming up with IJAR issue. You can see what are the portals that are of your interest and can frame very good publications under this. So these are the domains that we are working on. You can click on any portal, it will link you to the portal, and you can just check how vast the technological landscape of Ministry of Ayush has gone. Coming back to the presentation. Let's cover the domain healthcare. In healthcare domain, we are working on AHMS system. We are working on 3 versions of AHMS, that is AHMS Lite, for the facilities where there are very minimal infrastructure. So we would be getting there with registration, vital, OPD modules, lab and prescription, inventory and billing. This is an ABM compliant software that is ready for the pilot study. Then we have AHMS V2, that is the comprehensive version of software that we would be deploying soon in All Institute of Ayurveda. Then we have AHMS for Ayush colleges that we would be deploying in all the Ayurvedic colleges, Ayush colleges. This is customized for the needs of the colleges, and it includes IPD modules and all the inventory modules as well. Then we have Y-break application in the healthcare segment, in which we are working on an application with step counters, heart rates, and a 15-minute Y-break can be provided through officially curated videos. We have our M-Yoga app with WHO. So in this app, we have very good curated videos that you can browse and learn yoga from day to day. Then we have a segment called research and development. In research and development, we have portals like Ayush Research Portal, in which we have over 43 research journals. We are compiling it with the JATS format to make it like standard of PubMed. Then we have Namaste Portal, as my colleague Dr. Saket sir has already demonstrated about it. We have a tool called Ayusoft that would be on trust of all the listeners there. So in this Ayusoft tool, we have compiled a number of assessment tools like Prakriti, SWAST Assessment Scale, e-books portal called e-Samhita, and encyclopedias of Ayurveda and Siddha in all the other Ayush domains as well. Then we have medicinal plant domains, in which we have e-Charak portal that has over a footfall of 3 crore visitors and 71 lakh buyers and sellers of medicinal plants that can talk to each other and deal in the medicinal plant sector. Then we have drug administration. We are doing it through Ayush Suraksha portal with a whole holistic mechanism set up through All India Institute of Ayurveda, and a whole pharmacovigilance mechanism is set up. It is dealing with adverse drug reaction and misleading advertisements. Then we have e-Aushadhi portal that is for licensing in the field of Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani and Homeopathy. In the education and awareness domain, we have yoga portal that is giving information about various yogic practices, yoga calendars, activities, and during the recent International Day of Yoga, it had a footfall of over 3.6 participants, 3.6 crore participants, and handled over 10 TB of data. Then we have Namaste Yoga app. It is an app in which you can find nearby trainers and events through your GIS locations. We have education lifecycle management system that you must be interacting with on a day-to-day basis. It is for the lifecycle management of the students. Then for global media and outreach, we have Ayush Next portal in which we are covering all the media activities, videos, webinars, seminars, and all the youth-related activities would be covered here. In the Nivesh Sati portal, we are having a dedicated gateway for international and domestic investors. So you can browse this website and check what are the opportunities in the Ayush sector, how it has grown in herbal nutraceuticals, herbal cosmeceuticals, herbal drugs, formulations, and therapeutics. Then is Ayush Global Portal. It underlines how traditional medicine is spreading all around the world. You can see various countries and the status of traditional medicine in these countries and how Ministry of Ayush is faring in these countries. Then in capacity building, we have NGO portal for managing various central sector schemes. People can apply for these central sector schemes through these NGO portals. Then we have emerging technologies. As my previous speakers like Dr. Samir Pujari, Dr. Rajeshwari have spoken about AI. So in AI, what we are doing is we are going in multi-fold approach. First is digital health tools. Second is AI for education, and third is AI for research. First, let me talk about generative AI chatbots. In this, we are using RAG technology to enable classical Ayurveda literature to be embedded in a chatbot. Then, as I've told you about eCharab portal, we are developing a chatbot for eCharab portal as well, in which all the interactions of buyers and sellers of medicinal plants and the details of the medicinal plants would be captured, and through AI, they would be able to solve and clarify their doubts about it. Then we have master portal that I've just demonstrated. You can browse the master portal. We have linked a AI chatbot that is in beta version in the chatbot in that portal, and you can ask basic questions from it. We have trained it from the Ministry of Ayush website. So it's in beta version. You can see how Ministry of Ayush is one of the first ministries who have used AI chatbots in their developments. Then in AI for yoga, we are developing vibrant applications with AI-powered reminders. In Namaste Yoga, we are giving AI recommendation system for certified yoga trainers and centers. Then we are developing a yoga recommendation system in which, based on your health condition, your age, your gender, you can browse to chatbot and it will suggest you asanas and yogas that you can perform to improve your health. Then Ministry of Ayush is also working on various WHO and global collaborations, as my previous speakers have also talked about. Whether it is GIAI for H or ICD-11 TM2, Ministry of Ayush has been at the forefront of these collaborations. As a result, mapping the application of artificial intelligence in traditional medicine, a brief was released by WHO on 11 July 2025. You can browse this journal and read about it in detail. These are some of the screenshots of the chatbots that we are developing. So, for example, if a user asks what is Agni, it will browse through all the literature that we have and give you exact reference, Charak Samhita's Sutra Sthana, its Sanskrit version, its transliteration version, its English translation, and its Hindi translation. So all you need to know about one thing, it is derived from the authentic text, and you can talk to the text directly. Then on the right side, you can see yoga chatbot, in which somebody has written that I suffer from chronic migraines, and they often trigger stress. So my chatbot, the yoga chatbot, is telling what asanas and pranayams that he can do. As a concluding remark, I have mentioned that as AI takes over prediction, humans will do less of the combined prediction, judgment, routine of decision making and focus more on judgment alone. So the prediction work would be reduced and the main work of the physicians and all the stakeholders in Ayush would be of judgment. Thank you. I will thank ITRA to give me this opportunity and to present various IT initiatives of Ayush today. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Namanji. this is Professor Hitesh Vyas. We have talked once or twice. So I would like to thank Namanji because I talked him, and within few minutes he agreed to join with us online. So I'm very much thankful, Namanji, for your speech and for your information, what you have provided to our students, our faculty. And next time we will give you a larger time to explain more the schemes. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. As we approach the conclusion of today's program, I would like to invite Dr. Kalpesh Panara, Associate Professor, Department of Dravya Gun Vigyana, to deliver the word of thanks. So please.
So, good evening to everyone. Yes, this is a very long session for you, and it definitely is exhausted due to this brainstorming session and many informations given regarding the AI and digital transformation of the Ayurveda. So I hope that that will be more beneficial in future in upcoming days. So yes, friends, the meal cannot complete it without mouth freshener, mukhwas. The event also cannot be finished without a word of thanks. So it's my privilege to present a word of thanks on this auspicious day, the day celebration. So first of all, I would like to thank our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, because in morning only he wished us Ayurveda Day, and he remembered us on this auspicious day, and also for his commitment to strengthen the Ayurveda, and also for giving a more funding and promoting Ayurveda nationally and internationally. So thank you for that. And then I also express my gratitude to our Minister Pratap Jadhav sir and Secretary the Rajesh Koteja sir for providing us to and also elaborating this theme to organize an event on this theme, because this theme is actually innovative, and we are not very much aware about the various initiatives in digital era what going on in our ministry. So I thank also Madam for that choosing. Actually, I must say that Madam chose this theme under the very various sub themes regarding the Ayurveda Day celebrations. So thank you for ministry providing us this, and also for their support. And I also thank Madam to you, because without you, Madam, this event cannot be possible. And despite of you are not physically present here due to some unavoidable circumstance, you guided from your home and provide the all supports that we needed. And even in night also, you are promptly answers our questions, also giving approval to all our proposal. So, and you also give us a free hand to work. So thank you so much, Madam, for all of your support and guidance, encouragement, all these things. I also very much thankful to our chief guest, Dr. Syama Kuruvilla from the WHO GTMC, and by accepting our invitation in very short duration and sparing time from her busy schedule and being with us, and also their encouraging word and particularly the phrase or emphasis he given on the how Ayurveda can contribute to the AI. So definitely, I think it will motivate you and to moving forward, particularly in this direction. And I also thankful to all head of the National Institute and their representative to join online and give their support to us and be participate and remain participation in this event. And I also thank all the committee members, all staff, the IT department and students who who is the working on the back end and the doing the good rangolis and handling the stage and all these things. Due to your support and your planning and execution, so we are able to successfully conduct this event. So I thank all the committee members for their wholehearted support, and I especially thank all the students to be present here. I especially thank the Dean Academic Professor Hitesh Vyas, who is actually handling or we can say it's a center point for this event, and since many days he is planning for this, and despite of his health issues, he constantly put his wholehearted effort to make this event successfully, to be a key person and a key person for the communications and all these things. So I must thanks to Professor Hitesh Vyas sir for all this, and I also thanks Dr. Sagar to coordinate this event successfully, and dear friends, all participants, all deans, faculty members, lab heads, and all the members. I once again thank you all. Thanks to all.
Thank you so much, sir. With this, we bring to a close the symposium on digital transformation of Ayurveda, bridging tradition and technology, held as part of the 10th Ayurveda Day celebrations. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to all dignitaries, speakers, and participants for their valuable contributions and presence. Thank you so much. High tea has been arranged for the faculties in the canteen room, besides the conference room, and for all the scholars in the parking area behind the institute building. Thank you so much.